Welcome to the NRT Carbon Cartoon Animation Production Meeting. Today we'll do a review of Act 1 in terms of the animation. That's really all we'll do for now, but I'll also give an update on what we have, where we've reached with the client, where we've reached with the overall production, and where we're going. So I'll start with that overview on where we're going and where we've reached for the purpose of grounding at least the context. And then from there, I'll invite you to make a presentation from your computers of what you've done. But this meeting is discussive, so I'd like us to focus on problems if we have them, or even challenges. And the final item, the last item I'll talk about is going to be on the money, because now we're in production, so I'll also talk to you about money and schedule. So let's start with the overview. First, I should say this meeting may not be that long. I've planned these meetings for 1 hour, but I suspect this may be shorter, in part because it will depend on what we have to share. So if we have all our work ready, it takes 1 hour. But if we have no work, that's the minimum time. It might take just 20 minutes. Okay? So the first thing is where we've reached. In terms of the production, we've recorded now English, Swahili, and Samburu. So we have 3 languages. There's another 3 left to go. The lip syncing we're doing should ideally be done with Kiswahili to be safe. Although, from what I saw of Kisamburu is shorter than Swahili, but longer than English. English is the shortest. So if you do English, you don't have enough stuff on the timeline for editing. You see, because you have to maybe introduce slow motion or something, I don't know, to slow it down. So the ideal for your lip sync is to use English. But that said, even though I've said that, it's okay if you use English. The ideal is Swahili. But if you use English, that's not the best, but it can still work. The most important is you're simply tracing the pre-visualization. Once you know how to work with pre-visualizations, you can work quickly. And for you to make money, you see, we're trying to create a scenario where you make money monthly. For you to make money, you need to turn around these jobs. For the studio to make money, we need to turn around the jobs. So the workflow that I'm trying to work with now, first of all, needs it has that in mind. It has in mind job turnaround. Technically, you need to be able to work on 3 jobs per month, not to completion, but whatever you're given for that month, you'll be given 3 items of work. So you finish one, you get into another one, you finish, and you get into another 3. When you're doing that, you're earning, you can argue, as much as the studio can pay, which will be 3 times what you're earning now, roughly. So you have a sense of what you can do. But in order for that to be realistic, you need to have a workflow that produces the consistent quality of work. Consistency in animation is the most important. So consistent quality work, and then of course you're able to have it approved based on the workflow we're using. Approval is a big issue because clients can take forever to approve something. So getting clients to accept and approve is what we try to do. But once you have your work approved, turning it around becomes the next thing. If you turn it around in the time frame specified, then you're good. Okay? Yeah, so that's number 1. So far we've recorded 3. We're now planning to record Turkana. Turkana is meant to be for this week, but we're not sure because of issues around just logistics. So it may be next week when we record Turkana. All right. In terms of the schedule, by now you should have finished Act 1 and be waiting for Act 2. I was supposed to have given you Act 2 by Saturday, but I couldn't. So I'm going to try to give it to you by this Saturday, Act 2, and then Act 3 by Monday. So that's how I'm now working. So let's hope I get to that. I'll work flat out to get it to you. When it comes to motion graphics for Jake, your motion graphics aren't tied to the pre-visualization. So you just need to make sure your motion graphics can be complete for client viewing for Act 1 by today. If not by Saturday, then your Act 2, same thing, within a week. So next week, Act 2 pre-visualizations should be ready. And if you're doing any crowd scene characters, have those ready. And then that's next week. And then, of course, next week should be Act 2 and Act 3. Act 2 and Act 3 feed into each other. They're the same scene, but let's say, yeah, the same scene really, or we divide it into different scenes, but they're the same location. And they could be,
Can you?
yeah, go ahead, Jake. You're saying something?
Yeah, about the crowd scenes. I'll still pose the same question.
Yeah,
You know my issue with Steam and the 3ds Max in
yeah,
my laptop. Yeah, and I sent you the
yeah,
skins and how the guys would look like. So from on the crowd scene, like
yeah.
I'm kind of dependent on you.
No problem. I'll give you a pre-visualization on Saturday for that. So you'll pick out your character and then simply trace in the clothing. I mean the character themselves in their clothing. So that will come on Saturday. And once you get it, it's straightforward. Okay? That's for the background. So background characters are not as sensitive and they're also not that busy. They're not really, there's no lip syncing for a background character. So you don't have to worry so much. But if you're doing an animal background character, well, you need to just do one really, because when you do one, you color it differently. It looks like a different animal. So I don't think it's hectic also, because once you have a cow chewing grass, lifting its head, that's standard. If you have a cow walking, standard, you know. So if you're doing an animal, a goat, a cow, or a sheep, um, you do one, and then we can size them differently, we can color them differently, and then it looks like you have several. So it's easy to replicate one. Okay. The human beings are the ones that we trace from the pre-visualization. All right, so that in terms of workflow, then the drawings should be done by next week, Saturday, based on the lag. We're falling behind. So by Saturday next week, those ones are drawn. However, the pre-visualizations should be all ready by Monday so that we can at least know that this is done. This one should be done by Saturday, what we've done, Act 1. It's good because then the clients can start weighing in. They'll start weighing in when they see your work. I gave you some guidelines for the Samburu. But don't confuse Samburu with Turkana. The wardrobes are different. So you follow your guide, and if you want to add to that, you do some research because you have to defend your character. So if it's Borana, they're dressed like Borana. Kisomali, they're dressed like Kisomali, like that. Um, it's better to use reference footage because it's more important that you can defend your work than you making an argument. If you make an argument which is not defensible, I mean, there's no, like, you can't say there's this example of a photo which I'm using. It's troublesome for us because what's going to happen is the client will be arguing with you. That job will stay on the bench. It's not moving. So we're kind of stuck because of that scene, and then we can't turn around the job. So it affects income. That's the thing. And the moment you now put it aside to do something else, that job can stay indefinitely. It just depends on how this job will have its own bottlenecks that you have to resolve. So it's kind of nice if we get things off the bench and we bring new things when things are off. If the job is with the client and the client is testing and moving around trying to get feedback, it's not with us. That's okay. If it's with us, the clock is ticking, the client is watching, and all that. Those are not good situations to be in. So we want to do our best to try and get it out. You don't have to be perfect in the first run. You don't have to be. Client is not very, they approve very low quality animation. That's what they do. But they want the dressing, the wardrobe of their characters to be correct. So you want to be keen that the jewelry and the clothes and the colors of those characters is correct. Okay. On our part, we want the lip syncing to be accurate, at least to be conveying an emotion that's consistent, not dancing and looking and shape shifting and stuff like that, because then people will see that there's a problem with this drawing. No, we want it to look like an emotive character who is consistently giving out that emotional energy. That's what I think is the most important, because we're going from emotional beat to emotional beat. And you need to tie them together that it's convincing. If someone is generally an old man, so he has old man tabias, he's just behaving like an old man, then that is consistent if that's what he's doing throughout in terms of behavior. Um, you don't want him to sound or look like he's a robot, like he's repeating himself too much or something. So you want to make him to humanize him. If you humanize him and he looks like the part, like an old man, excellent. If it's a Somali guy, but he has a behavior that is clearly Somali, excellent. You see? And it comes out in a way that is humanized, not robotic, then that's good. So it's not a big challenge. The pre-visualization generally tries to capture much of that for you in terms of movement. So it's up to you to get the facial expressions right as they're talking. You see? That's what our goal is. So, so that's the general schedule. Next week, we should say we finish these drawings. And then the week after that, we make sure the lip syncing is now done. If you've done the lip syncing also at the same time, great. But we can give you an extended time to get the lip syncing right. Coloring and scene building is the last thing. So coloring and then scene building. And once you've built your scene, then you're done. That's the end of production. The rest is just on the editing bench. Someone else does the editing. So you want to try to get to that as fast as you can. Okay. I'm also saying that because there's other jobs which are coming, but they will be available by the end of the month. That's when they'll be available. And I think it's good to finish this one to start the new one. I think because this one's reaching its end. So let the new one start, on a fresh slate. That's how I'm thinking. So we see. Okay, so try for that. Any questions on this production and also the scheduling? Anything on that? Okay, if you don't have, then the next thing would be on my side to discuss would be the issues of money. Money, the client is paying by Monday. Monday is when I expect to have money from them. So that means I can give you your deposits for the work. And the client wants to pay against work they have seen. So I've told them they've seen the pre-visualization Act 1 and everything else we've done before that. So they'll pay. But actually, they want to see some movement. They want to see your drawings. That's what they want. So I'm encouraging you to try and have something done, because if we report there's problems on that, they'll wonder why we paid. It becomes a discussion about that. So try to have by Monday, when I expect to have money, that your Act 1 is done. All right, and I'll have given you Act 2 and 3. Then you start on that. If you've done, excellent. If it's got errors, that's okay. I mean, errors we can resolve. So just at least try to have Act 1 done. The most important thing that you want to mitigate is consistency. No shape shifting or eyeballs dancing, things like that. Just make it consistent and observe continuity. All right, within the scene at least. Okay, so if that is there, then errors outside that are small. Errors like on wardrobe or errors on colors, errors on, you can have chinks, like moments when something just jerks. Those are small. Errors of consistency and continuity, those are big errors, because you have to draw whole panels or even whole scenes because it's inconsistent. So you want to avoid that, because that will really delay you if you have problems with consistency. Consistency of shape, and then consistency in movement. If something is moving like that, it should move in that direction with the follow through. It shouldn't be moving this way, and then suddenly, when it's going one way, it suddenly goes backwards and then goes forwards. No, no, no. That's unexpected. It should just keep moving in the same direction. So you should have that flow. It should be looking natural. Okay? The pre-visualization has errors, but the errors you can see, so you don't have to repeat the error. Just maintain the flow. Okay. Any questions on what I've just talked about? Anything on the money? I see Alfani, you've joined us. Or rejoined us.
So I wasn't there. I had lost electricity for me a few minutes ago.
Yeah. So I just, in summary, I was just talking about the fact that we've recorded now 3 languages, which is English, Swahili, and Samburu. We're now recording next Turkana next week. I also mentioned that in terms of scheduling, by latest Saturday, we should have finished the rotoscoping of, let's say, Act 1. And then Act 1, Act 2, I'll give you on Saturday. Act 3, I'll give you on Monday. So that you now have those 2 to finish the week with. That's what I'm aiming for. And then after that, we have the issue of money. Money, the client is paying by Monday when I last talked to them. So I expect on Monday they'll send. We should just say by Monday, end of the day. But the exact time, I don't know. But if they do, then I will be in a position now to make payments to you from Tuesday. You see? And the clients have said in the contract that it's based on work done, not based on work you will do, but based on work done. So I'm wanting to give you 50%. So at least if you've done Act 1, I can make the argument 50% is done. You see? So try as much as you can to have drawn out up to Act 1, your character. Okay? And then comes now the, and I just want to say an obvious thing, that you're using the pre-visualization as your guide. Because the shot, the camera angle, camera size, everything is dictated by the pre-visualization. So if you draw according to the size, camera angle, and character within the pre-visualization, you're safe. Because everyone else is using the same reference. So you'll expect these different characters to merge together into one scene quite quickly, quite easily. No variation of camera angle or size or anything. The only thing you sort out are the chinks. Sometimes something just jerks. So don't introduce a jerk in yours. Sort out the jerk so that it's fluent. Okay. The other thing you're adding, which is yours, is the expression on the face. The expression of the face is part of the lip sync. Mainly the eyes and the lips, but the whole face can be included depending on you. Okay, so again, make sure it's consistent and continuous. All right. Yeah, so that's it. That's the schedule, the work, and the money. Now, I need to ask, do you want to show anything? Like, I'll start with Jake. Do you have any animation done, any motion graphics you can show us and you can share with us?
But I've done the first part where the bikes are overlapping, the bike and the cars are overlapping, and then the screen dissolves into grey and the smoke. Now, currently, what I'm working on is the CO2 bubbles being absorbed into the trees. That's the second part. Yeah.
Okay. And that first part of the cars, is it something you can present? Are you in a position of presenting?
No. It's not on this laptop. It's on a different laptop. Yeah. I have
Okay.
Adobe Animate on a different laptop
All
and
right.
After Effects. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
I'm working.
Yes.
I am working.
Okay.
I am working. Believe my word of mouth. Yes.
Okay, no problem. I haven't, you see, my space on Google has run out. That's what Google's telling me. So I have to make a payment to Google in order for me to get the space back. So it's not possible to put things on the drive right now, which means we need to keep our stuff on our computers. And then when I open it up, you can put your stuff there. You can render yours as continuous MP4s, but continuous MP4s, yeah, but in the end, we're going to composite all this on After Effects. So MP4s are not the best files to composite. The best ones are sequential JPEGs, or not JPEGs, sequential PNGs. So when you render out of, let's say, how many, you want to render out as sequential MPGs, and you put that into a folder online. When that's online, then I can download and then put them on a After Effects for the purpose of editing. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, if you can all do that, that will help. Um, the other thing that, yeah, I think so. I think that's just the thing. You can render out MP4s and look at it for your sake, just to see that, okay, this looks okay. But you can also preview in Harmony. And if you said you're using Jake, you're using After Effects and Animate, so you can preview in those programs also. Okay. Um, yeah, Alvan, are you in a position to present what you've done? We don't hear you.
Uh, yeah. Okay, I've done the scene where the bull. Okay, in scene one, I'm doing the talking bull.
Yeah.
So I've tried to animate. I've tried to rotoscope its working animation on Harmony.
Okay. So you're doing.
Yeah, I can present that.
You can present. You want to share? You can go ahead.
Yeah,
So you're doing the bull, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Mm.
yeah. So I've been trying. Yeah. So
Yeah, I like the walking. To me, the walking looks convincing, but the face is shifting. You can see the snout is changing the shape as if it's growing and shrinking. Even the horns, I think there's something on the face that is shifting. The shape is not consistent. So you probably want to check that. Huh?
I would say the trouble with the tracing is the consistencies because
Yeah,
yeah, there's some places where it's moving. Yeah, that's like what you said.
yeah.
I hope you could give me tips on how to make it more consistent when I'm drawing frame by frame.
Yeah, so now you've done this you can remove the underlay. You can remove now what we were calling the layer you're using for tracing. And now use onion skinning. Have you ever used onion skinning before on Harmony?
Uh,
The
yeah,
one
that's what I was using.
you were using. Okay.
You see the red lines. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Yeah. It's experimental, Alfan. You now have to imagine you don't want the like that snout to look like it's changing shape. You want it to look the same, consistent. So now you want to, it, as an artist, look at the previous frame, the previous two frames, and then draw it. And then as you go forward, keep looking at the previous two frames. Don't look at too many frames. If you look at too many frames, you get confused. Like if you look at the forward ones and the back ones, no. Just look at the back ones, and you can go as far back as two. And then pay attention to the snout and the horns. The horns should also not be shifting because that's a bit unexpected. They can move, but not the shape should appear to be the same shape. The ears are okay because ears are organic, so it's okay. I even think the way the car is walking is okay. That we
Okay.
can get away with. It's not a problem. Okay. So try.
Okay.
Yeah, try.
Yeah.
It's good you master because I think you're like 70% there. But you need to be at 90% there. So it's not much. If you work it, you'll get it. And once you get it, then you're in the business because then you can produce animation fairly quickly and fairly accurately. But this one, the pre-visualization doesn't have movement. on the cow. So this cow movement you got from where? You used, mm,
Okay.
mm.
Yeah.
You used the reference or you watched?
Uh,
Mhm.
I used a reference
Yeah.
from Sketchfab.
Okay. You found cows there.
Yeah, I found cows there. So yeah, so I have cow.
Yeah.
So I tried to trace, yeah,
Okay.
to trace the cow as it was moving.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
go ahead. And I see. This is the one. I see.
yeah.
Does it play? Or it's playing slowly?
It's
It's slow.
yeah, it's playing slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the cow, at least the horns, the face is the same face, yeah. The legs, you got them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't say
Mm,
I'm trying to copy the exact face because from the character drawings,
that's right.
it's a pretty
Yeah,
yeah. Yep. I have to like match with this face. So
of course, yeah.
when animating, you have to disorientate a bit.
Okay then. All right then.
Yeah.
All right, it's good, yeah. I think it's good. But I'm happy with that. This one has some pattern. Are you going to put a pattern on yours?
Uh, I only used this. I downloaded this video just for the working reference.
Yeah.
Uh, for the pattern, I'm just going with
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
this tan brown.
Okay. So
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
yeah, that's what I
Fair.
had.
All right. You have anything else?
Uh, no, not at the moment.
Okay, so try. All your characters need to be done for Act 1 by Saturday, if possible. Okay?
Okay.
So, Alfan, do you have something you can share? Alfan?
Yes, I do have something I can share.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but I did encounter a problem with the
Yeah.
tracing.
Yes.
Uh,
Hmm.
so I would prefer maybe, can you just render the
Hmm.
viewport
Yeah.
way it is in the viewport?
Yeah.
Because
Hmm. You mean the 3D?
yeah,
What you saw was the black image. So you want the 3D itself.
uh,
Yeah. Okay, I can do that.
so can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see. Yeah.
So, so you see the shifting as because in some parts you see the outline is not there for the character.
Oh, I see.
So that is the problem that I did encounter. So
Okay.
let's say at the first frame you can see that is there. Then when you move it, it,
Yeah.
it
You have to guess. Okay.
yeah, you have to guess it because it's the same color with the background.
Okay.
So it's hard to figure out where the line passes, the outline for the character. So that is the thing that I did encounter.
I understand. But it's not strictly tracing. It's just you generating your lines and using that as a guide.
Yeah.
That's the idea. How does it come out without the background? Let's see how your character looks. Okay. Yeah, the movement seems to be smooth and consistent. The body is not changing shape. Okay. So yeah, it looks like it's going somewhere. I see what you've done. Uh-huh. Yeah, I can share that with you. It's only now my Google Drive is down. I'll use another drive. I'll just set up another Google Drive. Then I'll send you that. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks that one looks convincing so far. It's the speed. Now you want to just pick up speed so that you can try to finish Act 1 by Saturday if possible. I don't know, but just try. Okay. All right. So I think then that's it. That's our meeting. We'll meet again on Thursday, but we'll keep talking in the group. I'll send you the information as it comes. For example, on Saturday, I'll send you the link for the pre-visualization. Then I will send you the, and also when I send you the link, I'll also upload the 3D work, just so that you have the choice of using the black and white MP4. The one you're using, Alfan, is the MP4. Is that the MP4 you're using?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll give you the individual characters rendered as 3D. So I'll also share that. Then you have the choice. You can use that one if you want. Then that way you have more freedom. And then on Monday, let's say by Tuesday, to relax what's going on with the client. By Tuesday morning, I'll send you the information regarding payment. If I've received payment, then I'll be able to be specific on the when I'm sending you the payment, and I'll also be specific on the amount. But I'll send you individually. You'll know your amount. Yeah, that's by Tuesday morning. Okay. I'll use EFT. I don't know if you want to be paid by M-Pesa or you want to be paid by bank to bank, for me to send it directly to your bank. You need to tell me that. You can tell me on WhatsApp. You just send me an inbox whether you want to be paid by M-Pesa or you want to be paid by money to your bank account. Okay? So whichever suits you, we can do. So if you tell me, then I'll use that method. And if you're saying M-Pesa, just write for me your M-Pesa number, even if it's the same one as your WhatsApp number, just write it so that I have the number that we're talking about written by you. Then I can use that one for payment. Okay? All right. Are you okay with that? Yeah. If you're okay with that, then I can arrange for that. The only thing I'd say is that I'm just thinking. Yeah, I think I can work around it. M-Pesa has some limits on how much you can send per day. I don't even know what that limit is. I'll find out. And if it limits me from sending everyone money, then I'll figure out a workaround. I think this is the best way I can say it. I'll figure out how to send, because I can also send to your M-Pesa directly from the bank. So I can do that. Okay, guys, do you have any questions as we close? Anything that you want to comment on what I'm saying? Anything? Okay, if there's nothing, then the meeting can end. We'll meet again on Thursday. And Thursday, you'll aim to present scene 2 and 3. You aim for that. If you fall behind, okay, but we'll see what the client says about falling behind. But at least let's aim for Thursday for you to present something. Okay? Scene 2 and 3. I mean, Act 2 and 3. Okay, guys, thanks for coming. I'll stop the recording. I'll share it with you so that you have it.